Разорвем гадов в клочья.
This is fried chicken. And here's one from Food Panda with 100 pesos off. Now that tastes like a good deal.
mama. We beef for fun, kill a llama. Dog, donkey, zebra, piranha. Me ride giraffe up on top and go Jahada Matata. Wanna beside the guy who got the horse made of fish off a gangana. Shoot you in the morning, get your blood on my eggs. Shoot you in the hand, head, face, chest, neck, legs. At Christmas, hands are gonna got him hide on a tree. Jump at minigun and down your fat family. Gonna spell a good time to me. It's N-U-R-G-I-N-O-N-S-T-O-P. You don't wanna be. The Rudy, a shooty, better than who do they movie to me. A down and a cookie, hot like the Huxtable Rudy. I don't need no friends, I don't need no phone. Just a bag of 7 head and my nuclear throne. Me no believe in trends, me no believe in Ganum. All me be believing is a nuclear throne. I don't need no bread, I don't need no home. Just everybody dead and my nuclear throne. We kill you in a nowhere, we kill you all alone. We kill you in the face for my nuclear throne. I don't need no friends, I don't need no phone. Just a bag of 7 head and my nuclear throne. Me no believe in trends, me no believe in Ganum. All me be believing is a nuclear throne. I don't need no bread, I don't need no home. Just everybody dead and my nuclear throne. We kill you in a nowhere, we kill you all alone. We kill you in the face for my nuclear throne. Guess who's back?
What's the problem?
The pub has a horsefly, and none of us can get a drink until it's gone.
Just a fly? That shouldn't take long.
Remus is in there trying to get rid of it.
Well, there goes my afternoon drink.
When you live in a kingdom where 97% of the population is illiterate, the only way to get noticed is through song. And if you happen to be the bug-exterminating brother of a famous dragon slayer, well, let's just say Liam and I have our work cut out for us. So sit back, open up your ear holes, and grab a tasty beverage, because we're about to play The Ballads of Remus.
Exterminator's work is never done.
Mom, did you know baby skin dries up 5 times faster? So don't just use any baby wash. Trust and choose what experts prescribe. Baby Dove. Most prescribed by Pedias because it has 10 times prebiotic moisture.
Video. Guys, nice. Looks like it's something green. I guess we'll go now. Wow.
Sa mga inasal, extra creamy halo-halo. Mapapa-creamy yes ka!
Hello there guys, and welcome to another installment of Trey the Explainer. The way human history is often taught in classrooms nowadays can seem kind of boring, in my opinion. Centuries of history are boiled down to socio-economic trends and major cultural shifts. Don't get me wrong, this perspective is important, but I think it removes the humanity of history. Past peoples become these shapeless and faceless blobs that we never really get to meet or understand. They lack any kind of agency. Modern audiences can walk away with the idea that people in the past were simple, brutish, and far too different to be like us. But that's not what it was like at all. History was built on the lives of millions of individual people. Not just Julius Caesar, but Caesar's cobbler, Caesar's cook, the orphaned child who watched him ride by from a back alley in Rome. The Chinese rice farmer, thousands of miles away, who lived at the exact same time but would never hear the general's name. Someone's favorite grandma weaving baskets on the other side of the globe. All their lives were emotional, complicated, messy, and at times very beautiful. Humans, as far as we can tell, have always been, well, human. Every single one of them had that spark of humanity. They lived, they grew up, they loved, they hated, they told the truth, they lied, they could be cruel, they could be goofy and dorky, and above all else, they dreamed. Every time I see a human skull, and I do this quite a bit, I often wonder what types of dreams once swirled around within it. Believe me, humans have not changed much over several thousand years. I think that nothing illustrates this fact better than when you look at ancient graffiti in ancient cities like Pompeii. What archaeologists find is not the refined speech of playwrights or historians, but the common everyday gossip of the small folk, the countless nameless people that never get so much as a mention in the historical accounts. They offer a rare glance into the entirely ordinary and mundane life of the average person, filled with incredibly endearing dirty jokes that are somehow still relatable to a person reading them 2,000 years removed. In Pompeii, for example, you'll find quotes like this. "Weep, girls, my penis has given you up. Now it penetrates men's behinds. Implicatus, I know that Icarus is buggering you. Hehe, I screwed a lot of girls here. Ha, Cruella Lagos, why do you not love me?" Okay, these ones are pretty cute. If anyone does not believe in Venus, they should gaze at my girlfriend. "Hectus, baby, Mercator says hello." And of course, who could forget the famous, "We two dear men, friends forever, we were here. If you want to know our names, they were Gaius and Alus." Can we just take a moment to appreciate the fact that these two bros felt the need to eternalize their best broness forever? Oh, find yourself a person like that. These are all translated quotes that totally wouldn't be out of place on a modern-day social media platform, if we just changed the names a little bit. Atop the Hagia Sophia in Constantinople, runic inscriptions were discovered on a marble parapet. The inscription was 1,100 years old, and it was initially suspected that it served some kind of sacred religious importance. But a subsequent translation revealed that the writing reads as "Halfdan carved these runes," or simply, "Halfdan was here." Historians determine that the engraving was made by a Viking named Halfdan, who was hired as a guard. Apparently, he grew tired of his guarding duties and decided to write his name on a nearby stone, only for us to rediscover centuries later. I don't think this will be a surprise at all, but this type of "I was here" graffiti is pretty much universal to all humans. The tomb of Ramses VI has a complaint on its walls written in ancient Greek, angrily proclaiming, "I visited and I did not like anything except the sarcophagus. Behold, the oldest Yelp review in history. Oh God, forgive the one who wrote this writing." This is an inscription that I wrote with my own hand. My hand will wear out, but the inscription will remain. I guess that aged really well. I could really go on and on talking about these examples forever, but there's one that really resonates with me in particular. Nestled along the shores of the river Volkhov, the city of Novgorod, Novgorod the Great proudly stands as one of Russia's oldest cities. It is believed that Novgorod was initially founded sometime prior to the 800s AD to facilitate trade between the Greeks to the far south and the Varangians or Vikings to the far north. By the Middle Ages, the city's strategic position along this trade route allowed it to grow rich, both in wealth and in culture. In the 1950s, archaeological excavations of Novgorod discovered a treasure trove unlike any other, not of gold or silver, but of documents. The thick and waterlogged clay soil had preserved tens of thousands of thin birch tree bark sheets. Prior to the mass production of paper, birchwood bark provided people in antiquity a cheap and easy alternative, wherever such trees were in ample supply. Novgorod was one such place. Using a metal or bone stylus, Novgorodians could inscribe letters and words into the abundant tree bark to record details of their everyday life. Over time, these documents created a lot of clutter, and eventually people would need to dispose of old and unwanted notes and rough drafts. This is exactly what occurred with the Novgorod treasure trove. Just like us, medieval Novgorodians during the 11th to 15th centuries threw away their useless bits of paper in a dump, not giving them as much as a second thought, and never knowing that scientists centuries later would marvel at their old garbage. Just like the graffiti at Pompeii, these amazingly preserved birch documents offer an unprecedented level of insight into the daily lives of medieval people. For one thing, they illustrate that a surprisingly high portion of the population appears to have been literate, at a time where having the ability to read and write was still pretty rare. Most of these documents were ledgers, monetary agreements, and transactions. However, others were personal letters. Several belonged to a female weaver named Nastasia. Sometime during the 1400s, her husband Boris asked her to send him his favorite set of shirts, which he evidently forgot to take with him on a lengthy journey. Rather sadly, we later learned that from another of Nastasia's letters, this time sent to her parents, that Boris has sadly died. We've got a love letter from Nikita to Yulanitsa. "Marry me, I want you, and you want me. Our witness will be Ignato." But probably most fascinating of them all, we've got, I kid you not, a child's homework of all things. Amongst the many thousands of birchwood bark manuscripts, 17 items, all dating to the 13th century, appear to have been from a single individual. On many of these documents, he signed his name in a very distinctive hand, Anfim or Anfim. Anfim was a Novgorodian boy, and judging from his handwriting, he was somewhere between the ages of 6 and 10 years old at the time. About 800 years ago, Anfim was writing out the old Novgorodian alphabet, practicing syllables, and learning verses of the Bible. His writings were almost definitely homework lessons and exercises given to him by his schoolteacher. However, Anfim didn't just write, he drew. 12 of the 17 pages contained illustrations, doodled in the corners and margins. Anfim sketched dozens of small characters, medieval stick figures of perhaps himself, his friends, and maybe even his teacher or parents. We can tell that Anfim had a very active imagination. He was obsessed with scenes of battles and knightly valor. On the page, simply numbered by archaeologist 200, he had apparently begun to write out the first 11 letters of the alphabet, only to get bored and doodle an image of a man riding atop a horse, thundering down and slaying a foe with a long lance. Anfim curiously wrote out his name next to the mounted figure. It is possible that this was intended to be a label, and Anfim was in fact envisioning himself as the heroic warrior, hinting at his dream of someday becoming a knight. On the back of another one of his assignments, Anfim drew a fantastical creature with a long horse-like neck, cat-like pointed ears, and a curly tail. Round its neck, Anfim writes, "I am the wild beast," again suggesting the doodle is an imaginary self-portrait of sorts. The beastly Anfim either has a long forked tongue or is spewing fire like a dragon. The text box or speech bubble next to it says, "Greetings from Anfim to Daniel," a message perhaps intended for one of the boy's friends. Page number 203 depicts a character fighting an eldritch abomination of some kind, possibly a person on fire or with long shaggy hair, or a priest clutching a poisonous snake. Even archaeologists aren't quite sure. Above the chaotic scene, the young boy writes, "Lord, help your servant Anfim." Although these sketches might have angered his instructor, they reveal a lot of endearing and adorable details about Anfim. I'm reminded of my own middle school doodles, the bizarre aliens and dinosaurs I conjured up from my imagination while daydreaming during a long and somewhat boring day of classes. Whatever happened to Aunt?
Feel the power of glutathione in a non-sticky serum burst formula for skin you'd love to live in.
Whatever happened to Aunt Fum? We will probably never know. As far as we can tell, all we have of this artistic genius are a few scraps of paper and nothing more. After that, he disappears from the Birchwood records in our limited view of history. Did he become a brave knight as he dreamed? Did he ever grow up and get married? Did he finally master his understanding of the alphabet? The date of Aunt Fum's writings are somewhat unclear, as the archaeological methods have a certain degree of error. Some studies suggest they were made around the 1220s to 1230s AD, while other sources suggest a couple decades later, in the 1260s. The funny thing is that depending on the date you favor, Aunt Fum might have grown up to fight in one of the craziest battles in military history, the Battle on the Ice, where the Prince of Novgorod, Alexander Nevsky, and his army defeated the evil order of the Teutonic Knights. The battle was literally fought on top of a frozen lake. Aunt Fum could have been in his late teens or early 20s around that time. Is it possible that he might have served as a squire, or maybe even a knight in the conflict? Maybe. It is also possible that he was born after it. Whatever the case, we will likely never know. It is doubtful that Aunt Fum had any clue that his drawings would be viewed by thousands many centuries after his death, bringing his creations to life using magic. There might be 20,000 more of these birchwood texts still buried under the Russian clay. Maybe we have not seen the last of this creative young kid. Stories like Aunt Fum's makes me feel a very oddly specific and hard to describe emotion. Sonderer. The realization that each random passerby is living a life as vivid and complex as your own. Every human that has existed on this planet had their own dreams and complex emotions. They were just like you and I, but most of them we will never get the chance to know. All the traces that ever were have disappeared, lost to us now. It is only through pieces of tree bark or scratches on the wall, a golden record, a handprint, that these stories have been preserved, passed down to us over the vastness of time. Ordinary people living ordinary lives, never knowing their works would survive. And with that, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day. Easy to see your ESP, extra special person to me. This strange-looking figure appears in the illustration to Book of the Dead spell 17. It is a long and complex spell mentioning many gods, some of them very obscure. The currently accepted view among Egyptologists is that the figure represents Medjed, whose name means the smiter. In the text of the spell we read, "I know the name of that smiter among them, who belongs to the house of Osiris, who shoots with his eye yet is unseen." The fact that only his eyes are shown while the rest of him, except his feet, is covered seems to fit this description. Unfortunately, nothing else is known about this god. John Taylor, Exhibit Curator, British Museum. Okay, make it stop please, this is getting too real. You seriously cannot make this stuff up. I might be a little late to this story, but yes, if you have been on the internet lately, this shape should likely mean, well, something to you. It originates from the popular online game Among Us, where players control crewmates, squat humanoids with no arms, and wearing multicolored hazmat or astronaut suits. These characters have quickly turned into a meme and widespread cultural hysteria on social media. The short of the matter is that people keep on spotting the crewmate shape in real life in seemingly ordinary environments. In trash cans, fire alarms, TV shows, political cartoons, in advertisements, in the split-second transitional frames of animations, in the shape of viruses, and even in ancient wall art and prehistoric figurines. I will admit that I even had a moment like this while walking down the street, seeing a set of empty newspaper boxes and then laughing to myself. They are always there, stalking us, watching us. Well, probably not. Some of these have turned out to be clever photoshops to capitalize on the popularity of the meme. This one, for instance, turned out to be an altered version of the 1,250-year-old Egyptian papyrus of Ani. The rabies virus really doesn't look like this. But the overwhelming majority of these images are seemingly just coincidences. Trash cans and fire alarms were probably not designed with the intent to resemble video game characters. These designs were created this way for underlining reasons of practicality, not to mention their resemblance is superficial at best. And yet, our brains appear to unconscious character in a myriad of unrelated objects we encounter in our daily lives, and have never made these connections before. Why is this? Well, it should first be pointed out that phenomena such as this is nothing new to our species. It's been happening for thousands of years, not with video game characters, but with cultural icons. Jesus was the original Among Us. People have spotted and still spot his face and body everywhere, from Cheetos to burnt toast to shadows, dental x-rays, cooking utensils, trees, rocks, dog butts, clouds, tortillas, and even entire nebulas. The Virgin Mary has been seen in chocolate bars and the grease stains of pizzas. It's been happening for such a long time that there's even a name for it in Christianity, archaeopolyetos, or made without hand, where icons of religious figures were reportedly made solely through supernatural means and without human intervention. These objects are often claimed to be the work of miracles, and many receive widespread attention, if not outright worship. Famously, a 10-year-old grilled cheese sandwich resembling the Virgin Mary was sold for $28,000 on eBay. My personal favorite is the Nun Bun, a cinnamon roll resembling Mother Teresa, which was stolen from its protective display in 2005, and remains missing to this day. Spotting religious figures in natural and mundane objects isn't a uniquely Christian practice. It is a long-standing and common practice found in many cultures. In Hinduism, images of deities can purportedly manifest themselves through entirely natural means. There's a tree in Singapore whose calluses seemingly look like the monkey god Hanuman, and in 2007 it drew large crowds of pious pilgrims. The shells of Heikegani, a species of Japanese crab, are said to resemble the faces of angry samurai, whose spirits have possessed them, hence their nickname samurai crabs.
Giant enemy crab.
Now, as far as we can tell, just like the Among Us pictures, there was no intention behind these images. They are just our human minds interpreting meaning where there is none, a phenomenon known as pareidolia. Mere tricks of light, shadow, and perspective. In 1976, an eerie human face was spotted on Mars, only for it to be later demonstrated to be the product of several factors. For example, the specific placement of the satellite, the quality of the image, and the time of day. More recent and far more detailed images caused the formation to lose much of its face-like quality. The ridges on the shells of samurai crabs are in truth the product of underlying muscle attachments that result in a pattern that vaguely resembles an angry human face. And the fossil evidence reveals that the backs of these crabs look like this long before humans even evolved faces for it to resemble. As we can see, the human brain is an expert at spotting faces, eyes, and silhouettes, and this appears to be a product of our evolution. Pattern recognition is a very helpful skill for a brain to evolve, even if it does its job a little too well in some circumstances. Primates, including humans, are able to very quickly identify snakes in their immediate environment. Chimpanzees in fact display distinct fear and maybe even hatred of snakes. When they encounter one in the wild, their first instinct is to jump back and sound the alarm. And they do this even when the snake is dead, or a toy, or just a picture of a snake in a book. Some scientists have put forth the snake detection hypothesis to explain this instinctual behavior. Some snakes are venomous and could easily kill an individual if they are accidentally stepped on or touched. As a result, the primate brain evolved to rapidly detect the snake's shape in their environment, and quickly react if that shape were detected in the underbrush. You can never be overly cautious. Being able to detect a face or the eyes of a hungry predator through the dense foliage of a jungle might just save your life. But as we can see, our brains can have a pretty elastic and lenient definition of a face by emphasizing certain details and ignoring others, resulting in pareidolia. I think this is again a product of our evolution. If the face your brain identifies ends up being the calluses of a tree, or a trick of the shadows, what of it? No harm done. Like snake detection, it is better to overreact in a false alarm than underreact when it actually counts. As we go about our day, our brains are constantly searching for possible threats in our environments. One of them being the faces of other humans, who could possibly be enemies wanting to do us harm. Capuchin monkeys, for example, have the ability to identify members of their own group from complete strangers when given a set of pictures, much in the same way we can spot our own family members and friends in a photograph. This trait probably benefited creatures living in a social environment where the quick identification of friends and possible foes was valuable. However, pareidolia does appear to be influenced by culture, as well as instinct. Our brains can be trained to see certain images and make certain interpretations. Most people might see a face in this grilled cheese, but whose face you see is very likely determined by your set of cultural influences. Some people see the Virgin Mary, but other people see Madonna or Marilyn Monroe. Culture is often based around a set of collectively shared symbols that are associated with specific meanings. In Western culture, a guy with a beard and long hair is typically linked with this guy. Perhaps the reason people see the face of Jesus so much in daily life is because his face is one of the most ubiquitous and pervasive images in popular culture. But for other cultures, a bearded man fitting this description has a vastly different meaning. You might see Jesus here, but an ancient Greek might have seen Zeus, or the stereotypical hallmarks of a classical philosopher. And this even works for more abstract images. For most people, this symbol is instantly recognizable and its purpose clearly understood, even without its distinctive lettering. However, the meaning we associate with its shape is not completely universal throughout the world. You might see stop, but a person from another country might just see a red octagon. When this image was taken of one of Saturn's moons, Mimas, a lot of nerds saw it and thought,
"That's no moon. It's a space station."
But someone who maybe hadn't seen a particular 1977 science fiction movie might not have gotten the same interpretation. Perhaps most relevant to our discussion is this symbol. The cross has a very significant meaning to many people around the world, despite it being a relatively simple shape, two lines intersecting one another. Like the face of Jesus, it has been spotted numerous times, an entirely natural phenomena, from images of black holes to the biological structure of proteins, instances that have been claimed to be evidence of divine intervention, a godly signature if you will, ignoring the fact that a historical Jesus most likely would have been crucified using a cross that resembled an uppercase T, the Roman standard at the time, and not the lowercase t. What this fails to acknowledge is that because the cross is such a simplistic shape, we should of course expect it to occur in nature. When a shape or pattern is so basic, it becomes remarkably easy to see it in the mundane. The infamous webcomic Loss has been reduced to a sequence of horizontal and vertical lines, and as a result, people have since spotted it in everyday phenomena. And I think this is exactly what happened with our little character. The Among Us meme craze has largely broken the symbol down to its base components: 2 legs, a body tinted in either primary or secondary colors, no arms, and a single window-like spot or hole in the center. Our collective brains reduce their already pretty simplified shape so much that we see them everywhere. Many of the popular examples don't even match all the criteria of this base template, but we forgive them for it when they meet not all, but a few of the criteria. And much like Jesus, the ubiquity of the character, made popular by streamers and Let's Players, made it a pretty universally shared and familiar symbol among the culture of the internet. Put them together, mass hysteria. You often see what you want to see, or at least what your culture has trained and influenced your brain to see. And with that, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Trey the Explainer, and I will see you next time, hopefully for a longer installment.
My 100% natural aloe vera extract para sa gandang finger comb hair. Palmolive Naturals.
Ready to enjoy more chicken joyous moments?
Isa pa! Isa pa! Isa pa!
Isa pa!
Isa pa! Chicken Joy!
Try the new Chicken Joy Perfect Pairs!
Hello there guys, welcome back to another Gravity Falls video, where today we discuss what exactly is Bill Cipher. Using my understanding of science, I will deduce a scientific theory on what this dream demon really is. Remember, this is only a theory, but who knows, maybe it's right. Alex, the creator of Gravity Falls, has shown that he has at least some understanding of physics and science. Now, let me clarify this. In this video, we will be discussing what Bill Cipher is, not who Bill Cipher is. That is for a later vid. Now first off, if you do not know who Bill Cipher is, please watch the first season of Gravity Falls before you watching this video. You will just get confused by watching this episode. Bill Cipher is a mystical character in the animated series Gravity Falls and has a lot of subtle hints to him that you might get very confused by if you haven't seen the series. Alright, that being said, let's start off with the inspiration of Bill Cipher. Bill Cipher is obviously inspired by the symbol, the Eye of Providence. The symbol displays a pyramid with the Eye of Horus on the top of it. It refers to the all-seeing eye of God and the ever-present watch of more powerful entities. In modern times, this symbol was adopted by multiple secret societies, most famously the Freemasons, and was even more recently given to the rumored secret society, the Illuminati, a society allegedly always watching the lifestyle of random citizens. The majority of Bill Cipher is made of this symbol, and probably refers to his always watching lifestyle.
And you later. But know this. When darkness approaches, a day will come in the future when everything you care about will change. Until then, I'll be watching you. I'll be watching you.
Bill Cipher also draws some inspiration from Lovecraftian lore, like similar things in Gravity Falls. Like the cosmic beings described by Lovecraft, such as Cthulhu and Dagon, Bill Cipher is an ever-present threat, more powerful than humanity. Bill Cipher can be summoned, a trait shared by many Lovecraftian creatures, and Bill Cipher also seems to take pleasure in the manipulation of mortals, such as humans, similar to the Elder Things and once again Cthulhu. Bill Cipher is sort of a mix of both the modern paranoia of lack of privacy and the old horror literature of Lovecraft.
Name's Bill Cipher, and I take it you're some kind of living ventriloquist dummy? I'm just kidding, I know who you are, Gideon. What are you? How do you know my name? Oh, I know lots of things.
Lots of things.
I think I know a guy.
Now, this is where things get a little confusing. We will use science to determine what Bill Cipher is. In the series, Bill Cipher is described as a dream demon. He has the power to manipulate people's dreams as well as the physical environment. He also has the ability to control time and space. Bill Cipher also has such powers as telepathy and omnipotence, the ability to know all and be in many different places. These powers are actually achievable by science, believe it or not, therefore hinting at what he really is. Bill Cipher seems to come from another world called the Mindscape.
Welcome to the Mindscape, kid. Without a vessel to possess, you're basically a ghost.
The Mindscape appears to be an alternate dimension where memories and dreams are located. It seems to coexist with our world, but we are unable to observe it. Scientifically speaking, this would mean Bill Cipher is either an interdimensional being or an interuniversal being. It's hard to say which. An interdimensional being is a being or creature from another dimension other than our third dimension. An extra-universal being, or an interuniversal being, on the other hand, is a being that dwells outside our universe. This would technically allow this being to not have to abide by the laws of physics, therefore having the powers of a god. No scientific proof has been found of these such beings, but mathematically they are possible. It's hard to say if the Mindscape, in which Bill Cipher dwells in, is another dimension or another universe. More evidence leans to Bill Cipher being an interdimensional being, living in another dimension. Let me explain how dimensions work. Our universe is made of nanoparticles that are aligned in many different ways, giving us different dimensions. We currently live in the third dimension. We have nanoparticles aligned in length, width, and height. The second dimension only has nanoparticles aligned in height and length. The fourth dimension has height, length, width, and time. These theories of dimensions are calculations of Einstein. Now bringing this back to the show, maybe Alex wants to incorporate these ideas inside the show. Gravity Falls has made a reference to Einstein's theories once before.
Bangong Palmolive? I love it! Di lang maganda, aroma ganda.
It's not too far of a stretch to believe that Gravity Falls may include ideas of multiple dimensions in the future. So, with this information, I can come to the conclusion that Bill Cipher is a being from the fourth dimension, as he calls it, the Mindscape. As said before, the fourth dimension is a dimension of time. Now, as we can see, Bill Cipher is greatly associated with time. Whenever he is summoned, he slows down and stops time. He has the power to slow down time and stop time. And on more than one occasion, he has pulled out a watch or a clock, the symbol of time itself. My theory is that Bill Cipher is actually a being dwelling in another dimension, most likely the fourth dimension, which he likes to call the Mindscape, only transferring partially into our dimension every now and then. If the theory of Bill Cipher coming from another dimension, preferably the fourth dimension, were true, it would answer why he has such a strange triangular shape. In reality, Bill Cipher exists in between dimensions. Bill Cipher is both in our dimension and the fourth dimension, as speculated. If this were the case, Bill Cipher might have a similar effect a three-dimensional figure has on the second dimension. There is an effect called difference in dimensional perception. For example, if we 3D shapes enter the second dimension, we would appear like strange, unfamiliar beings.
Today, I'm here to wash off all my dirt from testing. Let's get crashing. Ooh, that's fast. Ooh. Nice! At least I'm all squeaky
Hey yo, do y'all do car washes here?
Ang batang bibo, may igagaling pa sa tulong ng...
Just give me under a minute and I will remove your fear of failure. Just listen. Failure is not opposite of success. It's a price that you pay to become someone better. You don't get great without getting it wrong. Every failure reveals what success hides. You fail, you learn, you grow. That's not failing, isn't it? That's leveling up. You need to understand this. The only failure is never trying. Perfection doesn't build you. Effort does. You're afraid of failing, be more afraid of staying the same. Because comfort never changed anyone. But courage to start, that's where transformation begins.
Ang bagong Lactam 3 Plus, may dagdag DHA, tulong para dagdag galing. Para sa batang Vivo Plus.
Don't panic. Drink Pediasure Plus 10 Plus. My natural vitamin K2 and arginine. Tulong sa tuloy-tuloy na pagtangkad.
Is this introduction weird? Yes, it's. If it's is just a contraction of it and is, then why doesn't that work? In fact, why didn't English just do a find and replace on all the contractions? I'm sure there hadn't have been any problems with that. Well, how do we understand where the problem's with this? I was supposed to have a brilliant idea here, but it appears it'sn't. Okay, let's expand those back out. That took me about 17 takes to get right. Why don't those contractions work? Let's talk about it's in that introductory line. It is just a pronoun, doing its job, referring to something that's established earlier or obvious from context. But what's the z? You can't even really say it on its own. It's just kind of leaning on the it for substance, which is why the technical term for it is clitic, from the ancient Greek enklitikos, meaning to lean on. A clitic is a part of speech that can't exist just on its own. Now, we've talked about things like this before, prefixes, suffixes, and other affixes, things that attach to words like able or un. But a clitic isn't one of those, and we know that because it doesn't attach to individual words. It attaches to a phrase, a bigger part of speech. So using a prefix or affix, you can go from a dog to a proto-dog, or an anti-dog, or an astro-dog, or you can say that something is dog-ish, Those all attach to the word dog. If you add some detail, you say, my beautiful green astro dog, not my astro beautiful green dog. That doesn't work. For a clitic, it's different. My astro dog's been learning tricks. There's the clitic just after dog. Let's add some more detail. My astro dog from Jupiter's been learning tricks. That movement of s within the sentence means it can't be an affix that behaves like it's the whole word, like it's has, not is, has. All that means that s has to be in its own category. It's a clitic. But that doesn't explain why it doesn't work sometimes. If it was always possible to contract is and has down like that, there might be an argument that it's just a pronunciation thing. There has to be some additional reason that means itsn't and yes, its are ungrammatical. Now, if you want the full answer to that, you can read Anderson's Aspects of the Theory of Clitics, but a quick warning, it is 287 pages long, not including the references and indices. So to summarize as best as I can for English, there are two reasons. The first is what's called a syntactic gap, which means the presence of the clitic strongly implies that another word should follow. I think Anderson's best example is, who do you think you're? Who do you think you're what? Meeting? Talking to? It feels like there should be another word in that syntactic gap. The clitic is stranded at the end. And flipping that around, if you say, who do you think you are meeting? The sentence feels not ungrammatical, but maybe a little awkward and robotic. And very much tied to that is the second reason, stress patterns. Part of the reason these forms can be reduced so much is because they're generally unstressed or weak. They're pronounced more quietly and less distinctly. You cannot stress a clitic, and it sounds weird when you try, so let's try. If a child's parent is pestering them because they haven't cleaned up, the kid can reply, I am going to do it. That's called rejoinder emphasis. But they can't say, I'm going to do it. It doesn't work. So if the verb would contextually be in its weak form, unstressed, and it also starts with w, h, or a vowel, it can get even more reduced to this clitic form. So we get we'll, they've, you'd, I'm, and so on. Repeat enough times, they become grammaticalized, and they start to get written like that as well. In theory, something like they'dn't have could work. After all, shouldn't have is grammatical in spoken English, as in, I shouldn't have done that. Actually, in my dialect, if I'm talking quickly, I pronounce that as either shouldn't or even just shouldn't, like shouldn't done that. Languages change and evolve over time. Words become clitics, can stay that way for a while, and then eventually they may start to sound ungrammatical to future generations. After all, we used to say tis, not it's. So who knows, in a century or two, maybe they'dn't have will be perfectly unremarkable English. If you want more detail about this, there's a whole episode on my co-author Gretchen McCulloch's podcast, Lingthusiasm. The link is on screen or in the description.
Lucky Me Kasalo Back! Mas malaki, masahog, mas masarap, mas pack sa sulit!
I came across this meme the other day about choice words a school had banned, including Kid Cootie, Schmeckles, and Quandale Dingle. It has been a while since I was at school, so I thought it was worth my checking in to see what other sort of words were now banned. Our teacher banned the word Jamaica because we kept shouting it in class. The word buckle, I kid you not. The teachers, believing it to be a code word for something more sinister, decided to outright ban the word across the school. A boarding house wasn't allowed a Halloween party. They made them change the name to Mid-Autumn Party. Fidnadus! The word Sharknado. I remember one of my math teachers hated that we spoke about Minecraft, so she banned the word, so we called it 3D Terraria. We were banned from saying the number 21. They actually changed the math curriculum so 21 would never be an answer, saying the word fire truck. The teacher banned the word because if you remove Iratra, you get fuck. Billabong, because they had the word bong in it. Incidentally, I didn't know what a bong was until this policy. In 5th grade, so many kids were arguing with each other and then shouting "Roasted" that my teacher banned the word. Then we changed it to toasted. In my middle school, they banned the word toast because some girl claimed she was afraid of the word, so people would scream it at her until she cried. The word swag was just banned at my school. It's gang related. In my middle school, if we couldn't see the whiteboard, we'd yell "enhance" and make the stupid corresponding hand movement.
Let's enhance it. I enhance the detail. I think there's enough to enhance. Enhance the reflection. Can you enhance this?
Enhance.
Enhance.
It got to the point where it was so disruptive, the word enhance got banned. My school literally banned the phrase water is wet because it became a school-wide argument. Using the word pie in my school, there was a rumour going around that my high school principal fucked pies. I still can't believe my communications teacher banned the word denim from class. In 3rd grade, a few kids got obsessed with the words cheese, FedEx, and camel. They said them all the time, and those words got banned for the entire class. Someone's tweet just reminded me about the time my school banned the word squad, because us man had a massive 100-man battle royale scrap. Had to use the word friendship group from that day on, skull emoji. The word banter, don't ask. Great banter. I got the word Jerry banned from my school when I was in year 8, but I wouldn't shut the fuck up about it. Yeah, I'll such a C-gel was all. The word wet got banned on our HS basketball team because the sexual undertones offended the coach's Christian values. Class expectations. Everyone, below, please find the expectations we created in class today. These go into effect immediately. Behaviour: no malicious physical contact with other students. And no use of the word moist. My high school banned the word mip. You know, like from the Muppets? Teachers thought mip was used to mean something else, like something sexual. No. My school banned the word pumpkin. I'm so done. In my middle school, they banned kids from saying, "Oh, there it is." If you said it, you got detention. I just remembered when my school banned the word Ebola because it scared the year 7s, saying the phrase Happy Apple Day every day. My teacher banned the word flex tape in class.
Oh, that's a lot of damage.
They banned the Macarena at my elementary school. So yesterday in class, someone said, "Okay, boomer," and my teacher got extremely offended. He explained why he didn't like that, then banned the word boomer in his classroom. Okay, boomer. Middle school banned flip-flops, strapless formal dresses for the 8th grade dance, Old Navy performance fleece, and saying the word whack. My 6-year-old cheerfully tells me I can say the C word in class next week. Turns out her teacher banned the word Christmas before December. Saying the word dinner. Computer teacher banned the phrase bless you in class because it should only be allowed in church. My middle school banned the word chicken for a while, but somehow it became a synonym for vagina. My school banned the word nom, claiming it was an insult, despite that literally no one knew what the word was or what what it meant. Papa John's and Clash of Clans are banned words in my math class. My 7th grade science teacher really banned the word direction because she was pissed half my class would scream out, One Direction, and start fangirling every time. Hashtag 10 years of One Direction. Saying the word beast, as in, that was beast, i.e. that was awesome. Instead, it was decided by the teachers to say cheese. So we had all of the middle schoolers going around yelling, that's so cheese, which in my opinion was worse. Thinking back to when the school found the boys in my grade 9 class so absolutely annoying that they banned the word because they wouldn't stop saying it. Have a guess. Have a guess. Just have a guess at what you think that word might be. You won't get it. No, legumes.
Ken and Vice are here to dip and share. It's getting lit. Going for the dips. It's the final lap. Ken goes for the fake. Ooh, savage. Nice pass, Ken. KFC dip and share, building friendship since this ad.
Oy, sayote lang?
Oy, kering-keri. Mamacita's oyster sauce. Oy, you need oy sulit.
Potrocavo, epedo, rekamiavo, epedo, autójába fotöljében mindenhova, epedo, autójába fotöljében mindenhova, epedo.
Robot? Isang malaking robot? Wala dyan ang impormasyon tungkol sa robot. Ha? Ang robot na ito ang pangunahin at natatanging panlaban ng ating henerasyon. Ito'y hinubog mula sa orihinal nitong pinanggalingan, ang Unit 01, na kilala sa tawag na Evangelion. Ito na lang ang nalalabing nating pag-asa. Ito ba ang pinagkakaabalahan ng aking ama?
Ganun nga.
Ha?
Maligayang pagdating.
Papa,
Kumanda ang lahat.
hindi maaari. Hindi pa natin pwedeng gamitin ang Unit 01. Ritsuko, alam mong hindi pa siya pwedeng gamitin. Wala akong magagawa. Ano ka ba naman? Hindi pa kaya ni Ray patakbuhin ito. Sino sa tingin mo magpapatakbo? Dumating na ang bagong piloto. Nagbibiro ka ba? Shinji Ikari? Po, ikaw ang magpapatakbo nito.
I'm more interested in moonlight.
What the?
What a fine and dandy day.
Who are you?
I'm Mr. Ring-a-Ding. I make your heart bells sing. Please don't make me laugh. Just take my arm. What do you say? Don't make me laugh!
Años se extravió el 22 de abril en la delegación Álvaro Obregón. Selene Delgado López, de 18 años. Delegación Álvaro Obregón. Selene Delgado López, de 18 años. Se extravió el 22 de abril en Selene Delgado López, de 18 años. Selene Delgado López, de 18 años.
I'm bored. Hey, Apple, you're back! Hey, Apple, where you been? Hey, Apple! Hey, Apple! Yeah, you are. You're red, so you're an apple. A tomato? You look like an apple. What? No, you're not. You're a vegetable. Hey, Apple, can you spit seeds? Like this. I'm an orange. You're a tomato. Tomato. Yeah, you're a vegetable. You can't be a fruit and a vegetable. No, you're not. You're a vegetable, like a pumpkin. And elephants are microwaves. You're an apple. 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 Blender.
I think I know what's going on. You bought Dream Island, didn't you? That's how you know everything. This is all your fault, isn't it? Fairy rejected you. You wanted revenge. Isn't that what happened? Admit that's what happened, Leafy. Admit already.
Guys, you see that? She's turning evil!
What? That's crazy. I think it's time to see what's really going on inside the so-called Leafy.
Yeah! Football!
I didn't mean it literally. Stop that immediately! Stop that immediately! I tell you, stop! Here goes that last and most important recovery center. I think my work here is done.
Don't you realize what you just did? All the damage you caused?
No, if anyone dies, they'll be gone forever. And that's what I want. Probably you were nice to me sometimes, but not enough times. And to be honest, I'm not sad to see you go. I'm not sad to see you go. I'm not sad to see you go. I'm not sad to see you go.
What are you doing? Get your hands off of me, you jerk!
Leafy, Leafy! Leafy, I'm sorry for what I did. I realized that what I wanted most wasn't Dream Island. It's you, your friendship. I just want you to know that I'm tired of all this turmoil that's going on, all these conflicts and stuff. And I'd rather spend my time with you, whether it's on Dream Island or not.
Really, you mean it?
Hurry up! We have to get back to the execution!
equals less plastic. Plastic! Turn down the heat. I am a banana. Yeah. Warning, cap is a small part and poses a joking hazard, particularly for children. Yeah. Never say never.
And that's why we're here to help bring a solution to your problem. Say hello to the Potter Pill!
The Potter Pill?
That's right, you frickin' loser! The Potter Pill! A single dose of the Potter Pill will end all of your suffering from the gaping hole that Harry Potter has left in your life. The Potter Pill consists of 3 simple ingredients: enriched wheat flour, vitamin B6, and... Did we mention it makes a great gift?
Oh yeah, with anchovies. I had this coworker that just wouldn't shut the hell up about Harry Potter, so I gave her the Potter Pill. I haven't heard from her since.
This sounds so complicated. How does it work?
Using the Potter Pill is simple. Put the Potter Pill in your mouth. Don't forget to swallow. And experience eternal...
I don't know. My kids are pretty finicky when it comes to taking pills.
Don't worry, moms. For Junior, we have Potter Pill Chewable.
That's a good boy.
Most doctors can attest to the effectiveness of the Potter Pill. I just cannot endorse this product. I would suggest potential customers to instead find a different book series to obsess over. Perhaps the Twilight Saga. And if you don't believe the Potter Pill will work for you, just listen to these satisfied customers.
You're a wizard, Harry. 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 You're a wizard, Harry.
Order within the next 5 minutes and get a free fan fiction about Harry and Dumbledore.
I think it's about time we finally touched wands, Harry Potter.
Okay. And that's not all. Order now and we'll throw in Dumbledore's greatest pickup lines.
Are you from Hogwarts? 'Cause I'd like to hog your warts.
To see bloopers from this video and more, click the link in the description below. Oh, Harry. Click the subscribe button to get a free Potter Pill. And whatever you do, don't look at that asterisk. I can't say asterisk. Asterisk.
Oh yeah, that's a very good shard of glass. Shut up!
Holy crap, Lois! It's 4 from the web series Battle for Dream Island!
Dahil 50 plus ka na, madaling nabali ang buto dahil rumupok na ito.
Ang dami kong di magawa. Naging pabigat pa ako sa iba. Kaya araw-araw, nagka-Caltrate Silver na ako. Tulong pampalakas ng buto.
Chicken. We'd like to take a moment to announce that all our food keeps blowing up.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Oh, Your Highness, I'm sure it's not that noticeable.
That ain't SpongeBob! SpongeBob is square!
I'm ready, I'm ready.
No, you ain't!
Oh, my onion ring! I got an onion ring!
Hey guys, can you bring me the Tabasco? Careful, it's a little hot.
Your brain won't let you stub your own toe. See?
Oh, he's so cute! He's a rock. Rocks aren't cute.
Oh.
Not lazy. Just don't feel like doing anything. Selected participation.
Oh no! Our table! It's broken!
Stop! I could have dropped my croissant!
Please let me in. Oh, please let me in. Please, please, please let me in.
If you jump in the water right now, I'll give you... Dude, I didn't finish.
So I'm gonna count to 3, just relax and fall, okay? 1, 2, 3. No, wait, no!
I'm fast. I'm so fast.
Parkour! 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 I'm right behind you, Andy! Come on! Yeah!
Did we do a good job? Yes. Am I gonna smash it? Yes.
Any questions before I go on from here? Great. I really understood that well.
Yo, y'all actually still believe in gravity? Just walk on a wall, man. It's easy.
What am I supposed to do all day while you're at school?
I don't know. What do you normally do when I'm gone?
Wait for you to get back.
Oh, it's a strawberry.
Can I tell you a joke?
You know what? No. If the joke isn't funny, I'm hitting you in the head with the pan.
Deal.
Go.
Why?
Wow, look at those nice white shoes!
No! 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 No!
Me falling down the stairs.
If you spell applesauce with just A's, you...
Ready to enjoy more Chicken Joyous moments?
It's a pie. It's a pie. It's a pie. Chicken Joy.
Try the new Chicken Joy Perfect Pairs.
You can call it
Solitude in E minor.
Yeah, E minor, alright, yeah!
Wait, what? You're not coming to my tea party? Bethany, I made Bission!
Today, I'm going to teach you how to face your fears. Now, the first step to facing your fears is...
Oh, excuse me, I think there's something wrong with my meal.
Is it not warm enough?
Yeah, that feels cold. That feels room temperature, for sure. Or is it the drink? Is the drink not cold enough? Yeah, probably not the drink being cold enough, right?
Hey dude, what are you doing? Hey dude, making some good cheese, you want one? Hey, throw me one!
What does this button do? Please, please, do not push the button. You have no idea what it...
Toss me my keys. I said my keys.
I thought you said printer.
Why would I say printer?
And tonight, after my big promotion, we're gonna party till we're purple.
Yeah, I love being purple!
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
Ben!
Boom!
I baked you a pie.
Oh boy, what flavor?
Pie flavor. Welcome to the bread bank. We sell bread, we sell loaves. We got bread on deck, bread on the floor. Toast.
Hey guys, we have to be careful. Someone here is possessed by an owl. Who? That's the thing, we don't...
I'm not gonna sleep.
Okay.
You turn the TV on?
I thought you were gonna sleep.
Exactly, so put it back on.
You can't watch it if you're sleeping, it's too loud.
Put it back on!
I have a banana peel on the ground. I'm gonna see if it's really slippery like it is in the cartoon.
When I first met you, I thought you were weird and annoying. And you are.
Have you ever had a dream that you want him to do you so much you could do anything?
I like it cut, G.
This is my son, Jimmy. He's a lot smaller than all the other kiddos, but he's still special in his own way. Come on, Jimmy. Go and play with the other kids.
Thank you so much for watching a video on the Webs for Revs channel. If you really liked it, hit subscribe and hit that notification bell. And if you really, really, really liked it, then watch another video.
Bilib ako sa tripling lakas ng Birchleaf Fortified.
ihaw, chicharon o pritong ulam, the best talaga ang extra sipa ng siga.
Amazing development starts with you and the proven nutrition of Nankid OptiPro, the only one with nutrients proven by over 20 clinical trials to help increase antibody response up to 200% for proven immunity and growth. Choose proven nutrition from Nankid.
Along with Colonel Jackson down the mighty Mississippi. We took a little bacon and we took a little beans, and we caught the bloody British in a town in New Orleans. We fired our guns and the British kept coming. There wasn't as many as there was a while ago. We fired once more and they began to run it on down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. We looked down the river and we see the British come, and they must have been 100 of them beating on a drum. They stepped so high and they made the bugles ring. We stood beside our cotton bales and didn't say a thing. We fired our guns and the British kept coming. There wasn't as many as there was a while ago. We fired once more and they began to run it on down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. Old Hickory said we could take them by surprise if we didn't fire our muskets till we looked them in the eye. We held our fire till we see their faces well, then we opened up our squirrel guns and really gave them well. We fired our guns and the British kept coming. Wasn't as many as there was a while ago. We fired once more and they began to run it down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. Yeah, they ran through the briars and they ran through the brambles and they ran through the bushes where a rabbit couldn't go. Ran so fast that the hounds couldn't catch them on down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. We fired our cannon till the barrel melted down, so we grabbed an alligator and we fought another round. We filled his head with cannonballs and powdered his behind, and when we touched the powder off, the gator lost his mind. We fired our guns and the British kept coming. There wasn't as many as there was a while ago. We fired once more and they began to run it down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. Yeah, they ran through the briars and they ran through the brambles and they ran through the bushes where a rabbit couldn't go. Ran so fast that the hounds couldn't catch them on down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. Sound on, whip, whoop, whip, whip, whoop. Sound on, whip, whoop.
For fuck's sake. This sucks, Faye. Oh shit. Holy shit! Oh no! Ah, Jesus fucking Christ. That's what happens if you fuck a stranger in the ass, Larry. Oh! Oh! Huh. Fucking fall damage. And now, back to the show. God, Jesus. The fucking lag! Whoa! Whoa! The lag is real! Whoa! What the fuck just happened? What happened? Oh god! Oh god, yep! Ow, what? Fucking fall damage! Oh shit! Fuck! I should not give up that easily. Ah! Ooh! Oh! Ah! So we meet again, Crowbar. Ah! Oh shit! Ah! Oh! 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 Fuck! Fuck! I fucking suck. Oh! 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 Ah! Oh! Ah! 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 Oh! Oh, I got fucking concussion! Hooray for me! Holy shit! Whoa! Ah! Oh no! Ah! What? What the fuck? Back onto the fucking Olympic. Oh shit. Whoa! Whoa! Land! Land! Yes! Oh! Whoa! What the fuck? Oh! What happened? What the shit? Oh shit! Whoa! Ah! Ah! Whoa! Ah! Oh shit! Oh god. No, no, no! Oh fuck! Backflip! 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 Ah! Fucking job! Oh shit! Oh god! Ow! Ow! Still gonna go down though. Whoa! 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 What the fuck just happened? Whoa! Whoa! What the fuck? What the fuck? What happened? And now everybody's on the fucking bear head again. No thanks, I'd rather not go through that I'd rather not go through that fucking trauma again. Oh god, please don't take out the oven. No yelling, please. I can yell whatever the fuck I— Shock, how the fuck did you get up there? I guess the cans really do work. It's just I'm too fucking blind. And these fucking goddamn tabbing—
Defend our cart!
Looks clear.
Your friends are all dead. Good luck. Is nearing a checkpoint. Get to the cops!
Duck.
The car has almost reached the final terminus. Victory.
Thank you, all of you. A few days ago, we relaunched our Patreon campaign and over 200 of you became new patrons. That's awesome.
That campaign helps us create original videos.
And we're offering a bunch of cool rewards in exchange for your support. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. See you again next video.
Ano mong laro? Dapat may play the
It will happen. Salo-salo tayo sa sawsawan ng bayan. May Ursiflora Gut Restore. Made with IntelliSpores that helps enhance natural resistance to intestinal infection. Ursiflora Probiotics because life, oops, it happens. Mahalagang paalala, ang Ursiflora Gut Restore ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamitin panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit.
over here! Y'all want this gun? Stuck in the dang ground. Whoa. That's a glitch.
Don't touch that.
Yeah, you should let us handle that.
What, you don't think I can handle this?
No, it's not that you can't handle it. I just think we should handle it.
Whatever.
Dips. No.
No, man, come on, let it go already! I can do this! Screw this! Pete, don't do it! Chief! Wait! What's that? Something's wrong!
Oh, Chief, get out of there!
Not like this.
Oh, no! Oh, Mario! I gotcha!
You gotta reset the game!
I got you, man. Hold on.
Help me!
Hi, Jonah. Thank you so much for meeting with us today. We understand this is the first time you've wanted to talk about this in over a decade, so we're really honored.
Yeah, of course. I think it's time.
Maybe just introduce yourself and then take it away. We want to hear it all from you.
Hi, yeah, I'm Jonah Wiseman. I am an astronomer. I'm the astronomer that discovered the God-Man, as he's commonly known. It's not the name I gave him, but it's the one that stuck. At the time, I was conducting research at the Lake Observatory as an observational astrogeologist. I was there from 1961 to 1985. It was October 4th, 1963, and I spotted this totally strange shape, like a thick semicircle. It was fairly far off, but it was definitely very big. It was moving very slowly, only about 500 kilometers an hour, and after a month of observations, we knew that there was a really good chance that it was on course to here, to Earth. As it moved in closer, the rotation of the object began to reveal to us that it was much taller than it was wide. It was about 20 kilometers tall. And the angle that we had discovered it on was more like a top view. Rotated, it was hard to ignore that it really did, in fact, look like a humanoid. A head, a torso, arms, legs, hands, feet. Well, one foot, the other one broke off, we suspect. There was a lot of debate about what to do. If something this big were to collide with Earth, it would be, be problematic, to say the least. There was talk of nuking it, however, here we had our first potential evidence of extraterrestrial life. We needed more information. You know, was this a living being? Was it a corpse? Was it a vessel? Or just a very fancy rock? If this was living, it wasn't moving around, just statically drifting, but it could have been sleeping or in stasis. We just didn't know, and many folks certainly didn't want to enrage something so big if it was just asleep. Fortunately, time was on our side, so we sent a probe. When the probe sent the photos back, we were in awe. This was no fancy rock. The scans and photos determined that the material that it was made of was very thin and definitely organic. The likelihood of it being alive currently seemed extraordinarily slim, and we could tell that there was no chance it would make it through our atmosphere without burning up. We decided to leave it be and monitor it. Over 6 years, as it inched ever closer, eventually, with the naked eye, you were able to see this long shape in the sky, like a stick that appeared to be about half the size of the moon. But with the telescope, you're really able to make out the length of the limbs, the head, and even the small details in the face. And though it had the shape of a man, its face was more like a cross between an insect and a fish. And then every few months, as it rotated, it would go nearly invisible, only to reveal itself once again. Soon after the media coined his name, I began to greet him in the evenings. Sarcastically at first, "Oh, good evening, God-man." But over time, with more sincerity, every night I was excited to see how much bigger he'd become in my lens. As he began to approach, we assembled a crew to send up in a shuttle to take samples. We needed to get up there before he indicated a moving object. Even with modern technology, that's quite a task. Over the next few months, he moved past the moon and now appeared to be a little taller than it. One evening, the God-man was actually silhouetted by the full moon. This spectacle only lasted for a few moments, but it was so eerie and extraordinary. It's truly hard to describe the impact that it had on me. After so many years of observing the God-man, I began to rely on him, depend on him. I was counting the days when he would finally arrive and bring with him the wondrous answers of the universe. We speculated so much about him, about what it would mean when we finally got close enough to take samples, when he was close enough to really see him in clarity. The shuttle expedition made it up, but their trajectory was miscalculated, mistimed. We overshot him by 200 kilometers. We had a backup shuttle, but it failed to even launch. We blew our one shot to gather samples. However, when the shuttle passed near him, they managed to shoot a video. Now, when we had sent the probe, it only photographed the front. But when the shuttle got up there, they found that what we had initially thought was just a long divot turned out to be a split all the way down his back. And you could see that it was completely hollow. All the God-man ever was a shedded skin or a shell. And I think that's really the part that didn't sit well with most people. We wanted answers, and it just didn't bring any. It only made the unsettling conclusion that there is in fact alien life of some kind, and whatever left this behind is very, very big. And now it's even bigger. We can only speculate that he most likely left it behind because he outgrew it. And then finally, it entered our atmosphere. Anyone who saw it that day agrees that as it burned, we saw a color that we had never seen before. The cameras couldn't capture it, but I'll never forget it. This thing, 20 kilometers long, burned up in entirely 6 minutes. I found myself almost greeting him in the evenings for a long time after that. Eventually I stopped. I'd only been at the observatory for 2 years when I spotted him. No one expects something like this in this field. No one expects to be known as the guy who discovered alien life. I mean, at the time it was the dream, but fame for such a thing can prove to be challenging.
Do you sometimes still think about the God-Man?
It is a hard thing to shake. From when he was first spotted, the God-Man took around 8 years to arrive to Earth. Those 8 years were some of the best of my life. Every single day I was filled with excitement and joy and anticipation. It was like Christmas morning over and over. And as soon as he arrived, he evaporated nearly instantly. I spent the next 14 years looking in that region for something more. More information, another sighting. Who knows? Maybe one day. It still keeps me up at night. Many people found it scary, but I found the God-Man gave me hope. That night, looking at him in the full moon, it felt like someone was looking back at us. For one small moment, we weren't alone. I wasn't afraid. I was soothed.
Holla get dollar. John Madden, John Madden, John Madden, John Madden. Point, question mark, exclamation point, question mark, exclamation point, question mark, ayu, 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 ayu. 999. I'm laughing for real right now. 999. John Madden. John Madden. John Madden. Football. John Merv. Ayu. Snake. Naki. 972-985 Big American TTS 135 137 890. Exclamation point. Here comes another Chinese earthquake. Ayu.